All right, hopefully everything's working. Hello, YouTube. It's Cord Campbell, and I am building Mitta. This is building Mitta. I'm not building Mitta. Well, I am building Mitta, but I'm not. That's not my name. Okay, well, happy Monday. So we're going to do a sprint. I guess a sprint session. So what I'm going to do is I don't know how to do this really very well, but I can just go through what we need what we have to do, and I always got really nervous during stand-ups. I don't know why. I mean the ones I was in at Logley, I was in charge. So anyway, that said, I would still get nervous. So I wasn't in charge of the stand-up, so there is that. So you can have somebody in charge of the company, but then they're not in charge of everything, or they shouldn't be. So here I'm in charge of everything, so I get exactly what I want when I want it, and if I don't get it, then I'm only can blame myself. So the first thing that I've got is it says look at grub. So we've got a problem. And what I'm going to do here is write these down in my dev notes, wherever they are, dev log. So I've been keeping a horrible log here, so it doesn't matter. You just have to leave it, and you have to just continue. So it's Monday, March 22nd. I was supposed to have surgery today, and they canceled it because the guy went out of the country. So I think I'm going to go out of the country. So I'm planning on leaving on the 1st. To drive to Texas to see my mom and my stepdad, and that'll be great because I haven't seen them in 2 years, so it's been a really long time and it sucks, and so that's what's happening. And then on the 5th, I'm going to probably one of these days along here whenever I get back. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna on the 5th I'll be in San Antonio, and I'll probably be there all this week and all of this week. And then probably and then drive back to California. So sometime toward the end of April, I'll be back in California, and then fly out to Thailand for 3 months to work on Mitta full time. So that's the plan. I would like to go tour quite a few of the Buddhist temples that are in Thailand. I want to go see those. I really enjoyed them last time I was there, and that's what I'd like to go and do, and just code. So here we go. So this is our to-do list, essentially. So this is in the to-do column, which basically is the first column. We remember we have a columnar outline like that. So I have a list of to-dos, a list of in progresses, and a list of dones. And really, it's about making the list is really what this thing is about. It's also about kind of prioritizing and getting things done. You don't want to bite off something too big, so you want to look at it periodically, which is what the stand-up is for. So look at grub. And now what this means is that it's sometimes failing. I don't know. It seems to be failing sometimes with the extension. I actually don't know. The second thing is we want to tweak and help search.js as much as possible. So we have 2 things on there that we have. It's reordering and pagination limits. So we want to put some limits. If we go into the console and we do a search, I don't know, we do a search for everything. You can also just type star, I think, and that should do a search for everything, maybe, yeah. And it'll do up to 20 records. And all these images are pretty big, so, I mean, sometimes it takes a little while for it to load in, but that's okay. And sometimes some of these records might be broken, because I'm in dev. I'm doing dev on this, so. I say I'm in dev, I'm on production, but I've been doing development, and so some of these things may be broken. So if I say open that image, it says not found. So this image is gone for some reason. Okay, not a problem because we're going to scrub the index at some point. But so that's the search stuff. in a stand-up, you want to move through these things as fast as possible. Typically, you don't have a screen, but you could, I guess. So we have a screen here because it's just me. So it says throw bots history into users index. Well, user and bots history. So if you type in something and you hit up arrow, you have a little bit of history here, but if you reload the page, it's gone. So that's what we want to fix. Upload and spool command work. Upload is completely broken, so just fair warning, it could be a lot of work. Tag.js needed and what? I don't know if we need it or not. Maybe we don't. Maybe we can get rid of it. And then the web/image selector in the extension. So what this would be, so let me explain tag. So tag is just a command, which we haven't even stubbed out yet. So let's stub that out. I think I've stubbed it out and then I deleted it and then I've stubbed it out again. So I'm going to stub it out again. And we'll say something like that. And that's because it's on production, so it's not a big deal. We've got stubbed out over here, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so guide. The guide is done, I think. And here it's not working very well, but basically we have a command that searches for something that has already been, it actually runs grub. And then what happens is it runs grub, and then that's the entire guide. Is it just runs grub on a page that explains how to install the plugin, the extension. So we've got that in localhost, which we got to log into. Chrome made a new rule that if you made this page, this page here, if you made this be able to remember things, that it wouldn't give you a completely secure key once it was pushed to a website. So the browser itself would say, oh no, you can't, you're not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to look at this page. We don't think it's secure or something like that. All right, so if we do, let's look at guide real quick. Because what we could do here is we could actually get something done here. We could maybe like say this is done. I feel like I don't like the way it works. So I was thinking about taking this part out. And what I could do here is I could say controller report like this. So if we said guide, so what we could do here is this is essentially the guide, and then you could say search for it, and then I guess this would be the stuff that we look at the top entry. We get Twitter, that is Twitter page. You get some YouTube video that I bookmarked earlier. So normally the user would not get all this stuff. They would do, and this is me indexing it earlier, so the user would get this. They would get one record, and then that would be it. And then it has a hint here on how to look for it. So then later you could just type Mitta Chrome extension to look at the instructions on it. And here I've done it a bunch, so this is what you get when you do more like me. But then if we reorder these results, then if you look at the top entry here, let's see here, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. I went too far. I need a better way to like cut that off. I think. So there's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Here it is right here. So that would be the first result that would come back. So once I reorder these, this will be at the bottom. This would have been at the bottom. So that's the most relevant one, I think, is the way it's biasing it or something. I don't know. I need to figure out what the sorting algo is on that. But I don't think that needs to be done right now, so it's not on the list. So guide sort of works, I think. I think we'll leave it like this. So we're going to take guide, and we're going to move it over to, so this is what it said, and we're going to move that over to done. I had put on there that it needed pre-index documents for quick search, but really what we needed to do, all we needed to do is just prompt them to, like when they run guide, it indexes, it runs an index. And then I guess I'm going to get rid of this thing right here. There's no reason to have this in here at all. So then we just change this, what it says, running a command to index, to crawl and index our video guide. And then it does. And then we could say something like, yeah, I think that's it. So let's try it again. See what it does. It needs to scroll, for sure. So it needs to scroll here. And we should, Ace will take care of this other scrolling. And then there's really not a reason why, so like this search for it, I mean that's one way to search for it, or it could be searched, you could search for it another way, once the full text is extracted and indexed. So we could go into grub. We're only going to take a few minutes here off of the Scrum, because what I have left is in the middle of the video and help and fix the cursor, and so I might move fix the cursor back to the to-do list so I can work on some other stuff here. But here, let's see, full text extracted, indexed, and then what we could do is we could say, this is in the grub command, we could say something like, let's see, search using full text, like that. And then what we want here is something like this. So we want a ID equals, and then we got to figure out what the ID is going to be. So it's target ID. Probably target ID will work. So we need to put that inside single quotes here, and then this is target ID. And then we need to name it, and this is full text search, probably. And then we need an href equals, and then we'll just put a little pound sign. It needs to be in single quotes. So that's search using full text, and we want to put the thing on the end, the close tag. So we have a little bit of HTML inside of JavaScript and a little bit of HTML inside of Python with this project. And like in React or something, you're going to have a little bit of everything everywhere. Usually. So then we have a search click, search full text. I must have thought of this before because here it is. I've got dashes here, so full text search dash target ID click. So if that gets clicked, then it's going to say full text and then I don't know what. I don't know. I guess we could use the same thing. What was it? Title? So it's this thing? That works. And then we scroll. Alright, so that's in Grub, so let's try that again. Which we're going to run guide, it'll run Grub for us. Full text extracted and indexed, search using full text. There we go. Alright, so that's done. Okay, so that's guide.js is done. So now we would go over and commit it as we get better about doing commits instead of bulk commits. We just try to do it, stick to the topic. And then let's see here. This is some log thing. Alright, so we just did a deployment. Alright, so we have two things here. So I've got this settings stuff. I need the X here to do this. Let's add that real quick because I'm going to need to use these more. And this is a little bit of a pain in the butt right now, so and not quite done. It's not the way it needs to look, but it's getting there. Okay, so what needs to happen here is it says it's got to be a for loop here somewhere. This is settings. So a list of settings follows each. So here we would want an X sign next to the ones that we can delete. So I think in here, oh, this is going to be rat's nesty. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to put a link there, which is an X. And I think we have an X already on the sidekicks. Right here. So we go into settings, and then this is where we want to put it, and that's why it makes it look really nasty, but that's okay. So setting value, we got to make sure we put it in the right place. So it's here. And then this is a setting delete dash tricky stuff here, plus. So then we want to do a index so we don't get squashing. Okay, so let's do that and see if that works. Or it crashes. What does it not like about what's going on in here? So I think it wants things put it like this. Maybe. So then it'll be all of this like that. I think. Let's run that. That doesn't work either. All right, let's take a look at it real quick. Might be spending too much time on this. Sidekick is not defined here. Well, sidekick is not defined. Oh, I see. This is the setting delete index. Oh, I see. I was using, instead of the index, I was using the nick earlier. So let's read this and see. Okay, so it says, that's probably what we want right there. But we want this thing, the ID, plus the index, plus the target ID. I need a dash here. And then this thing gets closed by that. And then I gotta close this. Like that. And then there's an X, and then there's an A, and there's that. And that should work. There we go. Now we need a space. Now we should be able to click on these. Now they're not going to do anything. So it's settings, delete, index, target ID. We'd have to know how many we have. I think I can do the callback in here, maybe? I don't know. I'm going to save this. This is going to take a little while to do. So at least I have them in here now where I know that I need to put them in here. All right, so we're going to do a, and I'm going to go ahead and, I think I'm going to go ahead and do settings. Settings, JS, delete. So we'll put that up on the to-do list. All right, so what we want to do is we do want to delete a setting, and that is the video guide. So that's how we do it right there. And then we can do a reload of this page, and we see the video guide. So now we need, so that's the install, the Chrome extension install, and now we need a demo, and the demo is for here. And then I guess we should say demo video. Let's see here. This is index, right? Demo. Oh, Sublime. Okay, watch demo video. It's always should be a call to action. And then if we're going to do that, we need to make it lowercase. Like that. I don't know what happened there. Oh, I see. Watch the demo video. Click. Get quote. Get a quote. Get Yeah, and then hello. Whatever. They just need to know something about them. So somebody will email me probably. Okay. Did I break it? Always breaking shit. If you want to quote, email cordless@gmail. Why is it doing that? How's that? What's subject Mitta quote? I don't know. I don't really want to code anything. Like, I just don't want to code. I don't want to code a format. If you want to quote, email cordless@gmail with subject Mitta quote. Please, please. If you want to quote, email cordless@gmail with subject Mitta quote. Please include a short description of your use case. Perfect. And that's all you really need to do for enterprise. And this is the reason why is because without the rest of this, you're not going to have enterprise users. You could try to go get them. You could try to go get funding. So I could go get funding with this, what I've got. I could go try to raise some money. I'm going to immediately start being introduced to people that they know that need something like this done. That need something like this, what this does. And then they're gonna want to say, oh, well, we need this particular. I mean, it's going to be like 70% of what this already does will be what they need, and then the other 30% you'll have to totally change it. And so I would rather bootstrap and get these people, the developers. So if I could get 100 people, if I can get 100 people paying $8 a month, which I've had I've had 2,500 people paying me over $8 a month before. So it takes a while, but as long as you're providing something useful, people will use it. Who knows if this is useful or not? That's to be determined, but I think it is. But so if I can get 100 developer fans like in the next year, then that's 800 a month, almost 1,000 a month. That's rent in a cheap town for an office. So that's sort of worth it. And you could say a year, but then if you went and raised money and went after this market, and you said $800 a month, everybody look at you like you're crazy. But if it's just one person, then it makes sense. And especially if it's 1,000 people. So if in a year I'm doing 3 a day, then it won't be another year. I'll have like 1,100 people. So it takes 3 years to build a company up to where it's making good revenue. So this is going to take a little while. So this is not even done. We're not even done with year 1 yet for Mitta. So we're getting code written and we're getting it running so that it does what it needs to do. That's what we've got to do right now. And we have to have faith that we're going to figure it out. So the Git quote thing now is handled. So I think the only thing, the guide here should go to the same place, I guess. So I guess I'll put this thing is currently going to news. Let's see here. It's a little cute little thing that it does there, but so I think what we want to do here is just go to demo or guide, and that'll be a page. So this goes to the guide, this goes to the guide, and this goes to the guide. So we're just encouraging, like, I guess, well, demo, guide, I don't know. The demo guide. Probably doesn't matter. I mean, what we could do here is, and on the extension, we need to change this page to where we have so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another ticket for the homepage for index. And so I think it's still pretty much, I mean, maybe there's a page that's the guide. So the page will have the guide, and then the demo video, that's going to be a video on YouTube. So we're going to do the video today. I'm going to work till about 1 or 2, I guess, and then I'm going to switch over to packing. All right, so we've got these 2 tickets, and let's look at help real quick and see where we are with that. I don't remember exactly. So help works, reset and clear work, logout works, upload works, grub works. Maybe I should make grub index the guide. Whatever, doesn't matter. A video guide. Search stuff, and I've got this search. I've got some search tweaks. Those may need to include here. So, suggestions for empty. All right. So we added in index.html work for guide. Oh, and guide. So we did guide.js. This is a different story. The index page. Really, I don't need to do anything on the index page. I just need to. It's just really the guide page. And then the settings delete. And then we're working in progress on the demo video. And we're going through help now. So let's see here. What else do we got? Go to a URL. I don't know. I think we ought to take that out. that Google command. Kind of cool. Can do like Goog. Oh, if we replace this go-to with a Goog. All right. This is in localhost still. And then we don't have a go-to, so that's fine. Okay. What else? SMS and Slack, not implemented. Oh. All right, Slack, SMS. This could be possibly implemented. We could put that up. SMS JSON. I have like 3 weeks before I mean, there'll be some days that I need to drive, but SMS.js. So I don't want to put too much stuff on here. I like to get all this stuff done in a week. I don't know if I can get all this done in a week, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's pretty much it, I think. So let's double check everything. So we've got SMS.js. We've got the settings to JS delete X's. We've got the guide page, guide HTML page was just a document page, documentation. Web image selector in the extension. So in other words, go into here and you're able to right click on this and go to options, and then you're able to select whether you want to index, I guess a selection in here that you could click on something. I don't know if you can do that with this. I don't know how that works. Maybe you can, if you click on this, you can turn it on to where if you click on this, it'll do a little pop-up, and then you can say, I want to do image or web. So for an image, like if you were just looking at a picture of something, I don't know. Let's see if we can get anything back to this search. So one of these images, that one's not found, of course. This one, which is kind of scary dog. Then this is a picture, and you might want to just scan it with a text finder. Currently, Google does not do very well with imagery on the page. So in other words, it's not going to look at all these images and say there's a dog in it. And the reason why is because the way that the machine learning library looks at these things is that it needs to have its entire view its image must be presented to the entire network. It can't be sparse. So sparse, the way I think about things is like the sparseness is like how much image is in the entire view of what the network is wired to. And humans can look at something and we can like segment this and then analyze the content of what's inside of this, and then we can see patterns across something like this. So we can also see patterns across here. So for example, I see some drawings, for example, and then I see some what looks like real stuff because you have green grass. So if you click on any of those, you would expect to see something that's real, sort of, with the grass. So anyway, we need that selection there. So that's what that means. And so whether or not we need tag.js or not, and do we have it on the, we have it up on the board. Upload and spool needs to be worked on, so that's really kind of a priority, I think, after today's work. And then, so I've got these 3 tickets that are on here, and then I'm just going to look at the rest of them. So I have look at grub, I have deal with the search stuff, I have history, the upload stuff. So what I don't have here is what we're going to look at, and then what we've got is in progress. And so what we've got in progress is the video demo and help.js, which we might be done with, and then fix the cursor on entry of page. And that's it. Okay, so how long was that? As a 36-minute. So that's way too long of a stand-up, but we actually got code done in here. So that's stand-up that you see when somebody's doing a Solr thing. It's something that you can watch, and I was thinking about maybe putting these in the UI actually, just so that you could see, maybe like be a part of the process, but I don't think 42 minutes is probably going to work on it. So maybe what I'll do is just continue coding here. Maybe go to an hour. I'm not sure, I'm kind of on the fence. I think I'd like to do another hour and a half. So this is, I'd like to maybe limit this to the stand-up and code. So in less than an hour. So I think that a stand-up should be, I think that usually they're supposed to be like 10 minutes or something like that. Everybody goes around and says what they're working on. But in this case, I'm able to go around and say what I'm working on. So now we have that. But I didn't have it. So this is part like of the process that you would prepare for going to the stand-up, and then having the stand-up, and then doing a little bit of quick fixes to get rid of extra things. Because we did get stuff done. So the guide is done, and some other random cleanup is done. And that's this in general, is just a cleanup of like what's here so that we can make it usable for people. So the whole idea being that if you land on this page, all of these links work. You click, you go into the console, and there's some information about, hey, this is what you're supposed to do next. And so it has some calls to action, and it has, you know, that you can get rid of this, and you're logged in, etc. And there's some rational behaviors occurring in the interaction. You're getting search results back, which people should understand if they're ordered correctly. So I don't think that it's too odd at this moment for people to get going if they're of a certain mindset. It only takes we're only currently targeting 100 people. So, and in fact, with this free thing that we've got going on, maybe that's the idea, is that we have free for a short time only. It's basically 100 people, so 100 accounts. So we'll give away 100 accounts, and then at 100 accounts we'll cut it off, and we'll say after this it's now $8 a month. And so we'll have 100 free accounts that we gave away to get going, and then another 900 will give us our 1,000 fans. And at that, we will have probably over $8,000 a month, probably about $10,000 a month in revenue. So about 120 grand a year for the company in raw revenue, and probably cost of operating it will probably run, I would imagine for Google would probably be about 3,000 a month or so, something like that, if it's running full tilt with 1,000 users. And they don't have to use it all the time, but if it's running all the time, running, you know, where it's going nonstop, it's just always indexing, or someone's always using it, then it's going to be about 3 grand a month. Not really expensive, but you know, slightly. There will be people who certainly can use up more of this. If we look at the costs of providing this, it's not near $8 a month, but it's a fraction of that. I mean, it can't be $8 a month, or I wouldn't make any money. All right, so I think that's about it. I'm going to end the stream here, even though I was kind of waffling around about whether to end it or not. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another dev one here in just a little bit. I'm going to work on a couple of things first, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to start burning through these. I'll probably do the video. I have to do the video. I can't do the video while I'm streaming, so that's what I'm going to do next, is the video. And then I'll talk a little bit about the video when I get done with it. So take care and have a wonderful rest of your morning, if you have morning left. And I'll see you here in a bit. This is Cord Campbell, and I'm building Mitta. So go check it out. It's Mitta, mitta.us. And be sure and like, follow, and subscribe. See you.